Okay, this might be the spot where we can remain uninterrupted, at least for this move. So we're gonna start with hop burpees, and I'm gonna explain it beforehand because when I'm done, I won't be able to talk, I'm sure. So the hop is a broad jump. You wanna start wide. I like to go ahead and touch the ground like a frog jump. 1, and you'll do 2. And then when you hit that second one, so here's 2, you're gonna drop those hands to the ground, hop back into your burpee, come forward, and immediately next broad jump. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my water and put you on pause. All right, water break successful. Make sure if you're working out, especially if you're working out outdoors, to stay hydrated and wear sunscreen. But especially stay hydrated. And if you feel like you're getting overheated, go ahead and stop working because heat stroke and things like that are no joke. All right, hop burpee. So I'm gonna back it way up. Hop. All right. Okay, while we are out of breath after our hop burpees, our next move on our circuit is a side leg raise. So if you're able, of course, you want to just stand balanced and lift that leg out to the side. And you want to be careful not to turn that toe out and use that quad, because that's a developed muscle and it gets used a lot. A lot of the moves that we do are going to use your quad muscle. Not as many are going to use these outside leg and butt muscles. So if you drive more with the heel part of your foot, like so, you may not go as high, but you're working a different muscle group than you might typically work with other moves. So we want to just go ahead and do 10 on each side. I think that was 5, 7, 8, and you have to really focus on keeping that toe pointed inward. 9, 10, because naturally it wants to turn out. Your body is always going to revert to the path of least resistance. And for this move, that's going like that. So we're going to intentionally focus our toe inward so that our body doesn't compensate and use the already developed quad muscle. All right, here goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if you're wondering why I moved us by the table, it's because you may not have the balance capacity yet to do the move without holding on to something, and that's perfectly okay. I would rather you do the move correctly and really get that feeling right here than be wobbling all over the place and just kind of flinging your leg out like that because you can't hold your balance. So whether it's a pole, a post, a table, feel free to use something for balance so that you can correctly perform this move. Now that we've caught our breaths from the hop hop burpees, we're gonna do some squat kicks. So we're gonna come back over to our position over here. Now, you'll see I have gloves on today. It hasn't rained here in a while, so the grass is really dead. It's kind of crunchy, hurts a little bit on your hands. Maybe I'm just a baby, whatever. But these are just simple weightlifting gloves. You can get them online. You know, I don't think it matters how expensive they are. These were a Christmas gift, but you know, get whatever works for you. Frequently when I do work in the grass, I will go barehanded. You know, and I've been lucky enough not to plop my hand into any dog poo or anything like that yet. But you know, life is long and there's always the opportunity. So for our squat kicks, we're gonna get in just a typical, so the land's a little bit uneven there. Find a nice even spot. Okay. I'm really big on evenness, so whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. I hate to have any advantage for one side over the other. I mean, you're always gonna have your dominant side, but ideally, when you're training, you're training equally. So get a nice little level plot of land, and then we're just gonna do the regular squat. So it's the push the butt back, keep the, you know, chest, chin up, and as we come up, we're gonna kick. Now, see, I got overzealous there and almost went to the side. So you really have to use your core when you're doing that kick, because otherwise, that leg momentum could take you somewhere you don't want to go. So I like to keep a nice little fighter stance, hands in front of the face. I'm a big fan of kickboxing. You will see this in future videos, but I haven't done any strength training all week, so today is our day. Now, ideally, you're gonna do 20, which is 10 kicks on each leg. I have no idea what my count is, so I'm just gonna go till my legs get tired, which is happening relatively quickly. So this is a great move for your lower body, but it doesn't hit as much of the upper body. So, you know, I'm a big fan of compound movements, so we have to find a matching move for our upper body. We're gonna come back over to this table, because that's how mobile we are. We're gonna do some dips. All right, there's poo on this one. That one has no seat. I'm wondering how well you can see me over here. All right, well. Okay. Not to be difficult, but I found another bench that might be better. How did you like that when I was talking? So close. All right, here we are. Lovely day at the park. No kids, thank goodness. Just kidding, I love kids. All right, so we just have to figure out, I think we could plop you guys right here on the trash can. That weird angle. Oh, we can see the table. Okay, so the idea, before I wander off, is to just, I like to keep my elbows tight. Only go as far as is comfortable. You don't want to overextend and get to a point where you're causing yourself a shoulder injury. But you want to get far enough back that you're engaging those tricep muscles. So it looks something like this. Once you find a bird poop free area, I like to almost sit on the sides of or have my hands where I'm sitting on them, and that's where I feel that I'm getting the best range of motion. Now, for more difficult, your legs go out straight. You need it easier, you bring them closer. So, I haven't done these in a while, but we're gonna go out straight because, you know, challenge is good. So we just come down. Good set. So we have several moves under our belt, and the idea is to run through them several times. We've got walking lunges left. I know that. We did triceps, shoulders, and we'll do some push-ups with some jumps, okay? So, first things first. Walking lunges, super simple. A nice wide step. Keep your shoulders back, your head up, and you want to have the 90 degrees in both legs. Oh, fancy. And then you just push up, really engage this whole section of your body, and then come to the other side. Now you've got this section engaged, and you come forward. This section, and you just keep on rocking. Okay, there's rocks right there, so that was a pun for myself only. All right, next move, shoulder presses. So this one we're gonna do right off the ground, and it's kind of like a military press, but not really. But it kind of has that angle going for it, I guess. So what I like to do is just dip my head all the way to the ground. So we're gonna be like this, and we're just gonna go like this, okay? So we're gonna do multiple angles. That's that angle, but if you want to see what it looks like from the side. Alright, we're in there. Alright, yay, shoulders. Now, we also want to do an inner thigh move. So we did our side leg raises and focused on that outer thigh and that rear end. And our next move, I'm gonna go for balance here, but remember you've got your pole, your table, your kitchen counter, whatever you can always grab onto. So it just kind of looks like this. 3, and you can even touch your inner thigh. 4, 5, make sure you feel it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that our inner thighs are warmed up, we're gonna point our toes all the way out and do a plie squat. Now, you may not have the flexibility for this, and if you do not, that's okay. You're going to do a sumo squat. So if you are inflexible in the hip region, you want to go ahead and point your toes more like kind of like a 10 and 2, and drop that butt back, and you've got more of like a sumo squat going on, okay? But if you do have the flexibility, you want to really try to get those toes pointed out to the sides, and you're going to try to keep those hips forward and not push that butt back and bring that body down. Now, it's going to be really uncomfortable in certain areas because our bodies are not used to moving like this. So when you plie, you're really focusing on keeping that butt forward. So from the side, I'm going to show you the comparison. So a sumo looks like this, okay? Butt's back. You know, your knees are still not over your toes, but your butt's pushed back, your chest is up. With the plie, boop, boop, boop. We get our toes pointed more out, and as we drop, you'll notice that butt doesn't really come out. So, it's a whole different type of movement. And it's gonna work muscles that you didn't even know you had. And you really have to focus on keeping those hips forward. Okay, whew. Feel that in all sorts of weird places. So that's a fun move that you can experiment with once you get that flexibility. And if you are looking to get more flexible, there's a lot of moves that we do in my classes that will get you there. A good example of one that might help with your flexibility for the plie would be the side lunge. So here, you're really pulling this muscle here, you know, and you're really getting a good stretch in while you're also getting some strength training. So I love incorporating moves like this because they really help not only your strength, but also your flexibility. Another thing you can do, you probably see this a lot, I think it might be a yoga move. I'm not a yoga professional. I wish I was more into yoga because I realize how healthy it is for your body, but I'm working on it. So this one here, you just kind of push those knees out and that helps open that area for the plie squat. So I think, have we covered anything? We did our shoulder presses, we did our dips. Biceps are a little hard at the park. So if you are in a situation where you do not have anything to work your biceps on, and I've been in that situation before, you can find a table like this. Let me make sure there's nothing weird down here. Okay, you come under, you grab it like this, and you just like so, pull your body towards the underside of the table. And that really, in addition to the push-up, which I don't think we did yet, are the best ways to target that area. So we've covered a lot of different leg things that we can do. Let's go ahead and bang out some push-ups. The ultimate move, right? Let me get a good angle here. I'm not the best push-upper. Pusher-upper, whatever. So we're gonna try to do 10, but I'm not making any promises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah. Okay. So the key with a push-up, keep that body tight. This should remain aligned. So if this is poking, or if you're drooping, your form's off. And the best way to know that is to either take a video of yourself, which maybe I should just do one from the side, just to show. Hopefully my form was right, I'll check it later. But either take a video or look in a mirror. Those are two ways to know if your push-up form's correct if you don't have a partner. If you have a partner, they should be making sure that your push-up form is correct. So let's run through what we've done so far. We started our warm-up with a hop hop burpee, which is one of the hardest moves ever. So I don't know why we would call it a warm-up, but it engages a lot of different parts of your body without being too strenuous on any one muscle group. So we started with hop hop burpee. Let's finish with hop hop burpee. Okay, so I'm gonna jog backwards. I'll see you in a few. Into the rocks. Modified burpee. We want to be careful, especially when you find stuff like this. I don't even know what that is. I think it's a piece of plastic. But anyway, so after any good workout, you want to stretch. Now, we only did one round, and I expect you to do at least one more round. Just hit replay. You might have to listen to me yammer a little bit, but that's okay. That's where you catch your breath. All right, so stretching. Breathe in. All right, start with something simple. Cross your arm over. We're gonna hold for 15. same arm, go ahead and bend it behind and grab with the other hand. All right, other arm. Now today, go ahead and bend that arm behind. Today I brought my volleyball and I'm gonna practice my serves since I'm at the volleyball place. And I haven't served a volleyball in about 2 years, so it should be interesting. I would video it for you guys, but I don't wanna be embarrassed. I might, I don't know, I'll think about it. Or I'll video it and think about whether or not I share it. Okay, if you need to go to that table or that pole, go ahead and feel free. And then just grab one of your legs, bend your knee, try to keep your knees close together, try to keep your balance, and then try to just get that kind of Achilles as close to your butt as possible. And again, I recommend holding your stretches for at least 15 seconds. I can't quite see the clock from here, but I know I have a strong ability to ramble, so I'm sure that's been 15 seconds. I'm actually gonna get a little closer so I can. All right, let's go. I love this stretch, especially after I've done lunges and squats, and you know, there's nothing like a nice stretch. We're almost there. Okay, 15 seconds. I almost didn't make that one. There's nothing like a nice good stretch through the quaddie. So we kind of already did this, but we're just gonna, you know, there's never too many times that you can work on those hips and that hip flexibility and mobility, because you know my whole thing here is fit over 40, and trust me, things change, and if you're over 40 you know what I'm talking about. So we go ahead and make sure that we get this really nice and stretched out, because that's an area that goes quickly. Okay, we're gonna just pivot and do a little hip flexor. So that just means tuck this butt. This is kind of where you should feel the stretch. You know, you can lean back. Sometimes I'll cross my arm, my opposite arm over, and that seems to elevate the stretch as well. Now this can be hard if your legs are tired. So if that's the case, this can actually be done on the ground. And it just kind of is like a low lunge, and then you just push forward. So right now my knee is on the ground, but I still feel the stretch right here. All right, so that is kind of a modification of the hip flexor stretch that you can do. We got a nice little breeze now, thank goodness. Okay, so we're just gonna push one leg back. And this, we're just gonna roll up and down that calf muscle. Now, I've sprained and rolled my ankle so many times that it's just like a crackle, snap, crackle, pop, like the cereal when I do this, but that's okay. It's fine. I may not get a chance to do my volley. I don't know if these guys are soccer players or what, but you got a whole entourage coming. I think that's a soccer ball. So, serve's coming up. All right, so just go ahead and roll it up and back, up and back. Yeah, there's some cracking and popping. No big deal. Okay, and I love, you know, usually you do your ballistic stretches before your workout. We dropped the ball on that today. I dropped the ball. So ideally, you would do some stretches like such before you even get started, especially this one. I like to just throw a leg up. Throw a leg up if you can, back to back, even better. You know, it takes a strong core. I've probably said it before, but it's not my favorite thing to do. But I do like kicking, so I use that as an opportunity to get a strong core. All right, roll those shoulders out. Give that neck a little turn. Oh boy, that feels good. All right, we're ready for the week. Y'all have a great day.